101, 101, 101. Hey, welcome to my new hustle. You wanna see my new hustle? Let's go, let's go. Welcome to pre-trip Class B inspection. We're using a bobtail, and today we're gonna start our pre-trip from the top. We look at our clearance light, they're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. I look at my windshield, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My windshield is clear and it does not have any legal stickers. I come to my headlights, both high beam and low beam, they're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. I look at my four-way flashers, they're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and they're in the light color amber. I look at my left indicator, my right indicator, they are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and they're in the right color amber. I look underneath my truck, I don't see no leak. I look both sides of my truck, I don't see it kneeling on either side, indication of deflated tire or bad suspension, or the load is leaning on either side. I'm now going to welcome you so that we start with the engine compartment, and I'll open my hood. Clear? From this side, from the passenger side of engine compartment, I will start with all my hoses. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. They are properly mounted and secured, they are not leaking, and the clamps are present. I look at my my wires. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My wires are not worn, torn or fray, and they are not exposed. I look at my wiper reservoir, is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My wiper reservoir is filled to proper levels. The lid is tight and it's not leaking. I look at my exhaust from front to the back. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My exhaust does not have any black soot, indication of leak, and it's not rusted, and there's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my alternator, is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My alternator is belt driven. My belt, there's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured. It does not move more than 3/4 of an inch of play when pulled by hand. I look at my frame, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My frame does not have any legal welds or holes. I now want to welcome you so that we go to other side of engine compartment. From this side again, we look at all our hoses. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and there are no any audible leak. I look at wires from this side. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. All my wires are not worn, torn or exposed. I look at my coolant reservoir. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My coolant reservoir is filled to proper levels. The lid is tight and it's not leaking. I look at my oil cap, filler cap is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My oil filler cap is tight, it's present, and it's secured with a chain, rubber chain. I look at my water pump. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My water pump is not leaking, and there's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my oil dipstick. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. For me to check for the oil, I'll pull it out, wipe it, dip it back in, pull it out. I should ensure that it's reading proper ranges and it does not have any milky foam, or the oil dipper stick does not have any metal shavings. I look at my air compressor that is at the end back. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My air compressor is not leaking and it does not have any illegal welds or holes. I look at my power steering pump, or my air compressor is gear driven. I look at my power steering pump is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My power steering pump is gear driven and it's not leaking. I look at my steering shaft. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My steering shaft does not move more than 10 degrees of play when moved by hand. I look at my frame from this side. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My frame does not have any illegal welds or holes. I look at my power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My power steering reservoir is secured with 2 leads. It's not leaking and it's filled to proper levels. I look at my hose, rubber hose from my power steering pump to the gear. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. It does not have any abrasion, bulge or cut, and there is no any leak. I look at my U-bolts on my steering shaft. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. All the bolts and nuts are present. I look at my gearbox. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My gearbox is not leaking and all bolts and nuts are present. I look at my pit arm, drag link, upper and lower control arm, and then tie rod. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. And castor nuts and quarter pins are all present. I look at my shock absorber. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My shock absorber is not leaking and all bolts and nuts are present. I look at my mountain hinge, and my mountain hinge is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My mountain hinge does not have any legal welds or holes. I look at my leaf spring. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My leaf spring is not in scissors and there's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my U-bolt. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My U-bolts does not have any illegal welds or holes and all nuts are present. I look at my air brake hose. It's properly mounted. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, and there is no any audible leak. I look at my ABS line. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My ABS line is not worn, torn or frayed, and the wires are not exposed. I look at my brake chamber. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My brake chamber is secured with a clamp, and there is no any audible leak, and it does not have any legal welds or holes. I look at my slack adjuster and push rod. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My slack adjuster and push rod, the push rod does not move more than 1 inch of play when brakes are released by feet or pulled by hand. I look at my brake linings. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My brake linings are not dangerously thin and does not have any contaminant. I look at my brake drum. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My brake drum does not have any blue coloration, indication of overheating, and it does not have any contaminant. I look at my frame, both inside and outside. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My frame does not have any legal welds or holes, and it does not have any dent, and it is married properly to my tire. I look at my tire in and outside. It's properly mounted. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured. There's no any thread that is exposed, and there's no any audible leak. I look on top of my tire. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My front tire has a depth of 4/32 of play. My valve stem is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My valve stem has a lead cap, and to check for the pressure, I use the pressure gauge. I run the pressure gauge, and it should read the national standard, and sometimes it's always on the side of the tire. I look at my lug nuts. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My lug nuts does not have rustiness or shininess, indication of looseness, and they are all present. I look at my hub seal, it's properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My hub seal does not my hub seal is not leaking and it's filled to proper levels. We're now gonna do the in-cab inspection. 3 point of contact, we go inside and we're gonna start with our in-cab inspection. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, sort in here. Let me run the windows down. But the first thing that we're going to do, we're gonna inspect our emergency equipment. And the first emergency equipment is our seat belt. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. Our seat belt is not worn, torn or fray, and it latches and unlatches properly. Okay, I look at my three reflector triangles. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My 3 reflector triangles are in the right color and they can stand by their own, and they're 3 in number. I look at my fire extinguisher. It's properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My fire extinguisher, the gauge is reading the proper levels, it's up to date, and the pin is present. I look at my city horn, I look at my highway horn, all are present, and then I look at my 6 fuses and my flare, they are all present. So now next we're going to start our truck, and to start our truck, I'll turn on my truck, let my gauges settle as my ABS light come on and off, and then after that they've settled, I'll turn on my truck. So the next thing, we're going to build the pressure between 120 to 140, and the governor will kick off. But as we continue with that, we're going to continue with in-cab inspection. I look at my mirrors. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My mirrors, all my mirrors are adjusted to the driver's side, and there's no any illegal sticker. My governor just kicked off, but we'll continue with the inspection. I look at my windshield. It's properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My windshield does not have any illegal sticker, and it's clear. I look at my wipers. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My wipers are holding tight onto my mirror. I look at my defroster. It's working properly. I look at my AC. My AC is working properly. I look at my 4-way flasher. My 4-way flasher is working properly. I look at my right turn signal is working properly. I look at my left hand signal is working properly. I look at my wiper is working properly, and it is cleaning. Okay, I continue and look at my clearance light. It's working properly. I look at my low beam is working properly. I look at my high beam is working properly. After that, now I will turn back my truck off and then turn it back to on position. Let my gauges settle. My ABS line came on and off, which is good. My parking brake is pulled out. But now we're going to do our air brake test. The first air brake test that we're going to do is applied air brake test, and I will press onto my air brake test, my air brake pedal, and I should not lose more than 3 psi on a single curb. I release my brakes. With my brake release, I will press onto my wait for my air gauge to settle, and then count. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005 until 1 minute. And it will confirm to me that I did not lose more than 3 psi in 1 minute, and the test was successful. The other test that I'm going to conduct is turn on buzzer light, and with turn on buzzer light, low pressure buzzer light, I will fan onto my brake pedal, and the light will come on just before 60 or at 60 psi. I will conduct the test. The test was successful, the light buzzer came on, and the test was successful. So now I will conduct the third test, and that is emergency test. For it to be successful, I will continue fanning onto my air brake pedal, or my brake pedal, all the way between 40 and 20, and the brake knob will come on, will pop out. Okay, so I will conduct the test. The test was successful. We go to the knob came out. So I'm going to turn on back my truck and build back my pressure between 120 to 140. And as I do that, I will also test for my build-up rate. I'll test it in between 85 to 100, and it should not take more than 45 seconds. So I will assist. The pressure is building up, and from there now we'll test the pressure rate. So we'll be counting we keep counting. It did not take more than 45 seconds to build in between 85 to 100. The test was successful. So we'll continue building the pressure up until the governor will cut off. The governor just cut off. The test was successful. Now, the last one, we're going to do the tag test and service brake test. For the tag test, we will engage our brake where it is, and then engage the gear, and then we will rev, and again try second time. Our truck wobbled, but did not move. The test was successful. Now we will test for service brake test, and we will drive for 5 miles. Close the door. We will drive for 5 miles, hovering our hands on the steering wheel, and the truck should not move on either side. So let's connect this. The test was successful. The truck did not move on either side, or the steering did not move on either side. If it would have moved, it would have meant that maybe we had a deflated tire, or we had a shifted load or bad suspension. And that marks the end of in-cab inspection.
Go.
So this is the last part of our pre-trip inspection, and now we will assess our four-way flashers. And left indicator is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and it's the right color amber. I look at my door handle, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My door handle opens and the door hinges, they are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My door hinges can hold onto the weight of my door. I look at my door rubber seals. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, and it's not leaking. I look at my door steps, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My door steps does not have any illegal welds or holes, and it's not oily, and there's not any debris, and it can hold onto the weight of the driver. I look at my def tank, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My def tank has a lid, and the lid is present and tight. I look at my fuel tank, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My fuel tank is not dented, there's no any illegal weld, damage or broken. The lid cap has a rubber seal and secure chain. I look at that, I go on top of my truck, I look at the DOT tapes, properly mounted and secured, and they're all present. I look at my hoses. I start with my first hose, emergency hose. It's properly mounted and secured. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, and there's no any audible leak. I look at my brake hose. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, and there's no any audible leak. I look at my electric lines. There's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My electric lines, there's no any abrasion, bulge or cut. I look at my glad hands. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My glad hand is secured with a rubber seal, and it's not leaking. I look at my frame and cross member. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. There's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my exhaust from this side. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My exhaust does not have any illegal welds or holes, and I don't see no black soot indication of leaking, and it's not rusted. I look at my steps, and my catwalk is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My catwalk does not have any it does not have oiliness or debris. My cables or my hoses are not twinkled, or they are not rubbing on the catwalk. I look at my let's come to this wheel now. It has a track, but we will handle it from here. I look at my splash guard, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. I look at my suspension hinge, front and back, it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. There's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my leaf springs. They are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken, and they are not in scissors. In there, I look at my air brake hose. It's properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. And my air brake hose does not have any abrasion, bulge or cut, and it's properly mounted and secured, and it's not leaking. I look at my brake chamber. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and my brake chamber does not have any audible leak. I look at my slack adjustant push rod on this axle. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and my slack adjustant push rod does not move more than 1 inch of play when released by leg or pulled by hand. I look at my brake linings. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My brake lining is not dangerously thin, and it's not leaking. I look at my shock absorber. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken. My shock absorber is not leaking, and all the bolts and nuts are present. I look at my air brake suspension. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut. It's properly mounted and secured, and there's no any audible leak. I look at my airbag mounting. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and there's no any illegal welds or holes. I look at my rims. I want to do them both. I look at both my rims. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My rims does not have any illegal welds or holes, or they are not dented, and they are married properly to my tires. I look at both inside of my tires and outside. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My tires does not have any abrasion, bulge or cut, and there are no any exposed threads. I look on top of my tires. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. There's no abrasion, bulge or cut, and my tread depth are 2/32 of an inch for the back tire. I look at my valve stems. They're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My valve stem, there's no any legal welds or holes. To check the pressure, I'll use my pressure gauge, run it, and it should read the national standard, and sometimes it's always indicated on the side. I look at my lug nuts, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged or broken. My lug nuts are not shiny or rusty, indication of looseness. I look at my hub seal. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and my hub seal is not leaking. I look at my DOT tape and DOT reflectors. They are properly mounted and secured, and they are present. I look at my mud guards. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and they are up on the up off the ground. I look at my four-way reflector, four-way indicator, left and right indicator, my brake light and my reverse light. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged or broken, and they are all working. So that marks the end of our pre-trip inspection using a bobtail. But remember, you will not include the fifth wheel when you are doing the pre-inspection using a bobtail. Otherwise, thank you. Until I see you next, it's your boy Eric, and I'm out.